So in this lesson, we're gonna go ahead and complete this barrel. So we'll complete the texturing by using planar maps for the top and the bottom part of this model. So I need to carefully select the top part. I like to switch to the shading mode, so I press 5. The texture is not confusing me. I'm gonna click on the spacebar and go to the right view. And let me select everything here. Like, I'm gonna select all this. Make sure I'm selecting the entire top. And I'm gonna start excluding some of these faces, since those belong to the first part that we did, the cylindrical map. So I'm gonna hold the control key this time and do the same thing by excluding the faces. So control is to exclude selection. So then I'm gonna hold the first face and the last face. So that creates kind of like the double clicking that will see if I do it from here to here, it will just exclude these. Now if I do it from here to all the way to here, it will do the entire. Actually, it's not doing that, so let me just select these. It's better if you just select, hold on control and do this whole ring. I think that we stop here from the previous. I'm going to press 6 and see. Yeah, we did stop there. So basically now I have selected only the top part, 6, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. Now this is the selection that I have. I'm going to go ahead and go to the UV area and use the planar map. I'm going to reset the settings. I'm going to press W and look at where am I supposed to project. Definitely not from this angle, not from here. Obviously from, like, we're looking down to the barrel, so now it's the Y. So we're going to use the Y axis to project. And I can click on this button here that says keep image aspect ratio, so I just I don't have to like deal with that, even though I might scale it to my own preferences. So now I'm gonna do planar. Let me just go back. I think I didn't press it, so I have to go back here. Y, keep, and apply. Okay, I lost all the selections, so I'm gonna press Z. I'm gonna have to do it again. So control, deselect, deselect. Okay, press 6 and Y, keep image aspect ratio, and here we go. Now I have the image. Now the image is way too small, and what I want to do is bring this lid, this kind of circle, which is not, it's almost like an ellipse, so I need to actually make it more of a circle. So I'm just gonna stretch it on the X a little bit. I'm using the planar map tool, which you guys need to sort of get comfortable with it by doing a couple of planar projections. All these like tools are a little bit delicate to use, so I'm just gonna move it over here, and obviously this needs to line up with that, so which is the hole. So I need to rotate that. In order to rotate the planar projection tool, I need to go to this these red lines to switch from the manipulator tool to the gizmo. So now this will actually do the same job, actually moving around and scaling by using our common, very common gizmo tool. And also I can rotate that, so I can click on that round, on this circle here that will initiate my rotations, and I can just start moving this around. So in this position, and then move it back. I'm not scaling it yet, I just want to kind of line it up. And now I can go and hit the scale tool and start scaling this thing. And of course I need to do a lot of manual, and of course scale, move. See, it's not in the center, so it's a little bit of a problem. That's why this takes longer to do, whereas just a little bit work in Photoshop will be enough to save us a lot of time. So I think we're good here. Let me just double check with just moving this a little bit. Maybe a little more scale. And a little bit moving to the right. I think that should be fine. So I want to go to object mode. Yeah, it looks fine. There's a little bit of stretching here, of course. These things will obviously be reduced if we use like techniques like using Photoshop or Mudbox or other painting techniques to kind of avoid that. So this looks fine, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the faces again. 5, select the faces, and let's maybe I'll just exclude a couple of these here, and press 6, and then again using the planar mapping. It's the same thing. It's actually the same exact orientation. So I'm gonna click that, and in this case I'm gonna use this other piece here. So this is, and that's finalized. Now obviously here we need to line it up better. So how do we go back? How do we get this to line up with that? I'm going to select it. So we have a here. We did the planar projection 4. This is the bottom part. So we need to go to the planar projection 3, which is the top part. And what I'm going to do is just move this a little bit so it lines up. I mean, I could even scale it a little bit. So I'm just going to go and grab the gizmo instead and scale it a little bit more and move it. So now I could eventually line it up better. So this is the textured barrel. Now and this piece I can actually select, assign existing material, Phong1, and I can just do something creative here. I can find an interesting part of the image by using a planar map again, and just maybe I can scale it, and I can just find something like that to map. So really intuitive ways